everybody. I got some great guests with me today, and we're kind of finalizing some last chapters of The Invisible Ache. It's been an awesome book by Courtney B. Vance and Dr. Robin Smith. It's been some good conversation that's been going on. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give everybody a chance to pull a question, and then as they read their question, they can introduce themselves, but then they can answer the question, and then we can kind of go from there. So you want to grab a question, and you are?
Jamari.
So Jamari, go ahead, tell us your quote and your question. I wasn't thinking.
Courtney Vance discussed the strong black man archetype. Which part of the archetype do you find useful, and which part feels like a cage you're trapped in?
That's a tough question.
I don't understand it.
So let me see. So it says Courtney B. Vance discusses the strong man archetype. What type do you feel you find useful, and what parts do you feel like cage that you're trapped in? So what areas do you feel like as a black man, being strong black man, strong young black man, do you feel like you're still kind of trapped in something, or places that you can be free to be you? Or do you ever feel like there's spots that you're trapped in just being a black male, like around others?
Nah, I don't never feel like I'm trapped.
Okay. Anybody got any thoughts on that?
Can you say it one more time?
So what parts of the archetype do you find useful, and which parts feel like a cage that you're trapped in? And so we'll hold off on answering that, because then I think the rest of you guys can introduce yourself, throw your question out, and we can kind of keep going with the question. So I guess we'll go to you first, sir, or second.
Okay. My name is Latrell. My question is, if you could forgive yourself for one missed opportunity in a past relationship, how would your heart feel lighter?
Wow.
I think that's a perfect question for me to answer, because I was literally just talking about this with a couple of guys.
Okay.
If I could forgive myself for one missed opportunity, I would forgive myself for the opportunities that I didn't take as a freshman, especially with my basketball coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just saying how I take all accountability for me losing them opportunities, because I didn't understand how important it was to how you present yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I was walking around with my pants down and all type of stuff, and getting caught with illegal things that shouldn't be in the school. So I could see how people would have perceived me, but my heart would have been a lot lighter on my coach if I felt like if I didn't do those things,
Mm-hmm.
and I gave him a better opportunity to believe in me, or not look at me like I was a bad child.
So when those things were happening, were you just feeling like you were rebelling, or you felt like you were right at the time, or how?
Yeah, exactly.
But looking back,
Exactly.
Anybody else want to kind of throw something? It was that if I forgive myself, name something I would forgive myself,
Mm-hmm.
And it would make me light. Anybody else think some things that?
I think for me, I'm gonna go to the same route and say basketball, because like I feel like for me, what I would change is like the way that I was like being a leader.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I was like too worried about myself and not like trusting others. Like I felt like I should have stepped up more and took like more opportunities and more like shots. Like I wasn't taking a lot of shots that like, I could have took. Like I know that I work on and should have took.
So how would that relate to now? Now you're about to leave and go to college. How would you use those things to make you better, or to make you?
I think like falling in line, doing everything like that someone is telling me, like just listening to everything, like not like anything that I can take heed into, or like
Mm-hmm.
anything that I can see myself doing. Like if I feel like it's an obstacle and I feel like I can complete it, I'm gonna get it done.
Okay. Any other thoughts? Hey, Mr. Lee just walked by. Any other thoughts? Don't go anywhere, Lee. All right, let's go to. We'll start over at Chris, and then we come this way. Then I'll do. I need a question though.
You ain't got a question?
Y'all took all his trips and nobody gave him back.
My name is Christopher. I'm glad to be here. My quote is, legacy is more than what we leave behind. It's how we live now. The question is, how does the invisible ache you carry influence the legacy you are building for the next generation? So for those who don't know, that's my son out there in the lobby that y'all see here every day. And I had a severe problem speaking up, stating my truth, and just expressing how I feel. And by my child becoming more emergent and communicating, because he's been nonverbal for a long time, I've been working more on expressing how I feel and why it makes me feel that way, so that way he understands the different emotions and how to use his voice. And now he's talking more and singing and doing things, and I'm trying to model that with him, so that way he doesn't grow up thinking that because he feels a certain way, or maybe he feels that someone may not appreciate what he's saying, that he'll shut down, because that's how I grew up, feeling that my voice wasn't heard, so I would shut down and isolate and not say things. Whereas now raising a child who's about to be a teenager is vital to express how I feel and get him to understand it's okay to share your emotions and why you feel that way without having to shut down and isolate, because no one's a mind reader. They can't understand what you feel and why if you don't say.
Can anybody else relate to that or thoughts on that?
I think I can relate in some fashion of why I'm very voicious of ensuring that students have voices. It's because they don't know how to use it in the beginning. Like Charles said, his freshman year, not listening, not really understanding. But if he had more guidance to understand it and have those conversations, you'd have been able to voice how you felt at that moment, but then being able to see where you could be going later. It's by happenstance that me and him are sitting next to each other, and I kept pushing him to be better in the basketball court, of taking better shots and being a leader. And that started his sophomore year. And I kept seeing the growth over time, and he didn't do it by voicing it, but he started showing it. And that was a form for me, seeing the growth in him, using that leadership skill set as a voice on a basketball team. But just like I said, for myself, and I give credit to Principal Anderson for giving me the fortitude to be a part of an initiative that started some years ago with the Men of Color in education, and with the Men of Color, we had entrepreneurship, architect, law. What else did we have in there?
Technology.
And he took me up to Truman College, and I'm in this room with these, professional guys within CPS and across the city. And they had all these young men there, and I was just there. But then for us to see it bigger, and we took over it, and they all just disappeared. And then he dropped it on me, and just to see the fruits of like a Muhammad and a T-Man, to see what we built with them over the time. You could have never told me a voice of me sitting down with Muhammad as a freshman and hearing the story, saying, come on over to Michelle Clark, and he's the valedictorian. Right. Of all of the conversations me and Mr. Lee had with Muhammad and his parents over the 3.5 years, but to see that is amazing to me. And then he was able to start using his voice a lot better.
So can I ask though, because I think that sometimes we don't know that our voice is stifled or closed. I think that's part of our situation, that we look up and then we're like, it's been like that all the time. But I don't think we notice sometimes that it's been closed, and we carry it to relationships. So then we continue to not use the voice that we really could be using, but we've been so used to being quiet or being the one that everybody look at, so we got to smile. So how do we recognize that our voice is being shut down or being covered?
I think there are some cases where, and I'm just speaking from my personal experience, you can tell when your voice is shut down, because when you're speaking and you feel that that individual is not hearing you, their body language show it, the way they respond to you show it, whether they cut you off or disregard what you said. And after a while of constantly going through that, then you end up smiling and not saying nothing because you feel like, well, they're not listening to me anyway. So why should I say something? And then after a while of going through that experience, then you just shut down altogether. But that's not good either, because then you may be in a room like this space today where your voice really does matter, but you went on for so long with people not taking your voice seriously that you got conditioned and you to not saying nothing, to the point where now you're in a space where you don't respond or
So-
have that comment.
So that's a good point. I guess the point that I would then say is, how do we as black men push each other to have that voice? So like Wiggins is my guy, but Wiggins is really shy at times and don't talk as much, or talk, but I don't know if that's how he really feels. So how do I now challenge him or push him to have that voice that he needs? Or do I just kind of say he'll grow into it?
I take it as that it's more holding one's hand or showing them the ability to have a voice, and that's continues having conversations with one of such. Just by you saying that, then now I feel like it'll be on me to say, all right, now Wiggins is about to be rising sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's time for me to start working with them better to understand how to have hard conversations with teachers, sustainable conversations with your parents. Because I just had someone just tell me their son said to them, Mom, you always yelling. You don't never listen to me and hear what I'm saying. And she said she had to check herself and say, you know what? I am always yelling.
But I think some of that is from, that's how they grew up and they do the only thing that they know. And I'm not saying it's right. So in the book, we also talk about how we have to understand that our parents, through years of slavery and everything else, that was the way they were born and raised. That's how they know. It doesn't make it right. But I think in that case, then how do I help him to understand how to use that voice, or how to be shut down and then come back, or how to feel heard but not heard and then to come back? You know what I'm saying?
Unity. I think it's unity. I think showing them that he's not alone and he's not the only one going through it, and you deal with it too, and showing that you use your voice, and every time you get shut down, you're not
come
afraid
back,
to
yeah.
come back.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a part of the vulnerability.
Exactly, and you bringing him along with you and making him do it too, and showing him, if I could do it, you can do it, and if we could do it, our whole community can do it.
Thank you, sir. All right, cousin Steve, it's on you. What's your question? Thank you guys for that.
My question is, when you look in the mirror, what part of your true self is currently hidden behind the version of you show the world? So I feel like that's also personal to me, because that is one thing I realized I was lacking.
Mm-hmm.
The courage to show where I really was. I am blending to the community, even though that is not who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing it because the people I'm around doing it, and I feel like I could also do it because I'm just in the community. So I just basically I just want to blend in. I'm not really being myself, even though it's not something that I do.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's not really me, but I'm trying to be someone that I'm not.
Okay.
So I feel like that's something I gotta change about myself, and I'm really working on that.
So talk a little bit more about that. So when you think about that, so everybody knows that you're from Africa. Well, they might not know, but you're from Africa, right? And so do you feel like you are letting some of your African heritage or background change because you're here now in America? So like, because here's what I'm thinking. Like, when you get older and you have kids, will they not know your African heritage side, or will they only know like the American side?
I will make them know both.
Okay.
But I will not really enforce the African heritage on them, because they wasn't born there. And even if they was born there, I would bring them here.
I swear he's getting that TV louder and louder. Any other thoughts on that?
First, I just thank you for sharing what you just
He
shared.
wants to go in the weight room.
I appreciate what you shared with that about your heritage and things, because I want to say maybe June of last year I did an ancestry because I was curious about my heritage, and I'm 25% Nigerian. So I want to learn more about that. So I think when you get to a space when you do have children, they'll get to a space like I was, and I'm about to be 42, and I found out that some of my makeup was part of some African descent, and I was curious to learn more about that. So for you, you can show them both sides and still have the openness to let them explore and learn those things, but still tell them where you grew up at and what you learned and things, and then let them on their own be curious and figure out what it is they want to know about it, because they will be curious, and you can have pride knowing that they know the American side and the African side.
I think what's also important in that is we all look in the mirror and still see things that we still are kind of hiding, right? And so I appreciate you saying, you know, like your heritage and all of that. But I'm thinking about also there's still stuff that we hide. Like we still hide like how smart we really could be because we don't want to show that. Because it's still not cool no matter how much we say it is. It's still not cool to be a smart black guy in school, or not to be a rapper, or if you're over 6 foot, not to be a basketball player, you know. And everybody over 6 foot, like me, we don't all play basketball, you know. So I guess my thing, over 6 foot.
I was just gonna say.
I will not be the shortest person in here, but how do you even look in the mirror and say that's not something I want to do? Even though people expected me to be a rapper, people expect me to not be smart. How do you see that when you look in the mirror?
I feel like one thing that could stop that is courage, like I said. So you probably scared to show it. So you feel like, okay, it's right, but what do other people think?
Mm-hmm.
You care about what other people say. Even though it's right, but like, you trying to see if it's cool with other people. If it's not, then you don't do it. So basically, you just scared to, you scared to.
So we live inside a facade because we don't want people to know, like how smart we are or the things that we can do. Because we hide behind. They expect me to be a rapper. They expect me to be a thug, or they expect me to, those type of things.
I think it's like it's something we gotta like have like motivation to ourselves. Like if everybody had like that motivation to themselves, I feel like it'll change everybody's perspectives on like what you want to be. Like if you motivated to do something and you go do it and you chase it, like no matter what, people gonna respect you at the end of the day, cause you grinded to doing something.
People respect you at the end of the day if you respect yourself through it.
Yes.
Yeah, because I've seen where we've come up with stuff and then people are like, oh, that wasn't, and so we stop it. We stop our dream because people put us in a hole to say that's not going to happen for you. Or I think things like they'll say, wow, you really write well for, a black boy, basically, or you speak very well for a West Sider, that type of thing. Those are microaggressions, and sometimes we fall in those things of speaking and acting the way people want us to act because they put us in this hole. Who's next? Robinson? You next? That would be you, Robinson.
Yes. Forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could be different. Who, including yourself, are you still holding hostage by refusing to accept what happened? Now, for me, I'm a little different. I don't live in the past.
Absolutely.
I live in the present. One of my mantras are things I say on social media all the time. It's no dress rehearsal to this life. So I don't live in what the yesterday was. I'm not living on, I grew up in the ghetto on 62nd and Greenwood, and this is the way my life was. No, that was my life at that time. So I don't think about, the past like that. I'm going to live for now and try to focus on what tomorrow is going to be, which is the future. Yesterday is the past. I can't take yesterday and bring it in today. I may have to close out some stuff from yesterday, but I'm not going to dwell on yesterday. It's just like being on the basketball court. You done shot 10 times, you done missed it, but now you don't want to take that 11th shot. That 11th shot is going to be the one that's going to go in. So you got to keep shooting. And so I'm always shooting, not just for the stars. I'm trying to shoot for
Mars, Pluto, the Milky Way, the whole nine.
Every time you shoot.
Every time I get up every morning, what's my goals for today? How can I be better than I was on yesterday for today?
Do you find it hard not to carry some of the stuff from yesterday into today?
No, I don't. You know,
Okay.
and I'll just use myself. Even being here in the beginning stages of my career here, say 8-9 years ago, when I would have a moment, I would literally go in Principal Anderson's office and say, "Hey, I need you to put your hands on me. I just need to lay on your couch," even though he didn't have a couch.
We pretended it was a couch, though.
Right.
We pretended.
Right. Get me together real quick. Let me think. All right, then I know how to tackle it. And then now this moment I'm gonna tackle it. Tomorrow is gonna be fixed. Let's move on to the next day. You know.
So, do you think that that's one of the things that we as black males need to do sometimes? Because sometimes we can go in our rage, even in relationship, we could put our hands on a girl and then realize we really shouldn't have did that, or say some things that we really shouldn't have said because we got caught up in the moment. So I appreciate you bringing up saying I took a moment and say I need to take this moment. One of the things I have, if you look at my phone, I have alarms on it. And each alarm tells me something. So like if it goes off at 12, it says checking in with you. So at 12, when it goes off and I see checking in, I stop and check in on myself to say, where are you? Mentally, physically, and spiritually. Mm-hmm. But then there's another one at 3 that goes off to say, what do you need to fix or what do you need to see in yourself before the day is over? So then I have an opportunity to work on that as well. And I'm not saying everybody has to do it that way, but that's one of the ways that I kind of try to do it so that when I get home and get ready to go to bed, I'm not thinking about all this stuff. Oh man, I forgot to do this. Or I think I hurt so-and-so's feelings. Or they didn't really get what I was saying. Or they made me so mad that, because then you wake up with that same thought. Have you guys had that experience?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do that too. I set reminders for basically everything I want to do in a day.
Okay.
So I put the time in. I say what the reminder is about. Oh, you got to do this so time. You got to do this at this so time. So because I'm the person, I forget stuff really fast. So I know that I got to stop that. So I set reminders for myself basically, and it just keeps me updated on myself.
That's good. Any other thoughts?
I attack the biggest problems to the smallest. Like everybody got problems and they'll never go away. So I like the problem that stresses me out the most or that overwhelms me the most, I attack that first. And I don't know how to deal with emotions a lot, cause like I'm a logical thinker.
Mm-hmm.
So when something don't make sense to me and I don't know how to deal with my emotions, I just go by myself. I gotta get my head together. I gotta think, cause that's a malfunctioning person, and ain't no telling what I would do.
So let me ask, and this is just to the floor, do you think it's important to have 1 or 2 people that you can fall apart in front of, or that you can be like, today is not today, or that I can be emotional with? Because guys aren't really emotional.
I know, and I don't want to be, what you would call it, like they say, we men, we don't supposed to cry. I don't want to be like that, but and my foundation, I'm the glue. So I don't like to break down. I don't even want my people to see any type of or feel any type of like.
But the more you hold it in, you either implode or explode.
I don't hold it in. I just don't. I don't let it out in front of a lot of people, because I don't have a lot of people when they look at me, they see hope, and I don't want to break that for nobody,
So what would you guys say to that?
I got a son, so like I don't want him to see like give up or not have faith, because I know even though I break down, I'm still have my faith. But for a lot of people to see me break down that don't usually see me break down, I don't know what that would do to them.
So go ahead.
Okay. If you do, it gives those people hope that they don't have to keep it all together every single day. Because I was just like you at your age, trying to keep everything together, not see people see me break down, that I could carry everything, and it was too much of me to the point where it gave me health problems. And my son sees me cry in the car. And even before sometimes I break down, he touches me, so he just knows. And then it shows him that it's okay for him to show his emotions, and I let him know that it's okay to have a moment. And I have a friend group who actually I got to meet with once I'm through here. We talk about this on a daily basis, that we have this space where we can share our emotions and cry, be angry, whatever the case may be, and know that you don't have to have it together. And it's important to, you don't have to do it in front of everybody, but you can have at least 1-2 small core that you trust, that you could just fall apart and then put it back together like, okay, I got this, because we all need that. But if them people do see it, they know that they're not the only ones who's dealing with this. They're not alone. And sometimes that's even more important than trying to give them hope, because then they feel like they got to be perfect all the time.
Because they think you perfect.
So for me, that person, I used to have that person that I can just break down and just be me. But she left me in 2008. Right. That was my grandmother. Right. My son told me earlier this year in February that he was thankful that I was his father. He was thankful for the upbringing and how I raised him, but he saw the hurt that I was dealing with all the foolishness with his mother. But he said, my dad always found the way to make it happen. He said, you just never broke down in front of me. But then I broke down when he told me that, I fell apart. It's because I had to be the strong one. I had to let him know, your dad ain't going nowhere. I'm going to always be here. And Principal Anderson knows how close my son is to me. Mm-hmm. Over time, he came to live with me. Like, this is what we doing. Like, you with me every day. And now I see it in him with his son. But then he'll talk to me about any and everything. But it takes time.
But it took time, right? Yeah.
It took time to get to that level, because I know some people into astrology, some not. I am, in a sense, I understand Pisces the most, because that was all around me.
Thank you. March 11th.
Right. Yeah. All right. Yes, March 11th. That's my son's birthday too.
Exactly.
So my grandmother was March 3rd. My mom was March 4th. My sister's March 6th. My other family is March 8th. It's just, I know the Pisces, and I know when the water's calm, but then I know when the fish are jumping out the water. And I know that with Principal Anderson. I just know it. But I know that you do have to open up.
You have to have that outlet somewhere.
You have to get it out some type of way. So mine, honestly, when I do have issues a lot, then I'm going to think, I talk to Mr. Anderson. And actually, me and Miss Lee talk every Sunday morning. Mm-hmm. Every Sunday morning.
And let me say this, though. When we're talking, we're not talking like Robinson to Principal. We're just talking brothers.
Yeah.
And that's different than saying I'm talking to him because he's now my principal and I need we no titles are even there.
Right.
And so I bring that up to say it doesn't have to be somebody that's older, younger, or whatever for you. It might just be somebody that you can like, hey, today I'm just tired. Today just didn't go the way I needed. Because we all had those days, right?
Yeah.
So some days you just want to say that to somebody without any judgment and be able to say, or maybe it didn't go right, but you know what? I'm really trying to make this happen. I'm really trying to build this relationship with my dad. I'm really trying to build this relationship with my mom, and it's tough. It's tough, and just having somebody to kind of be like, okay, I'm listening, because sometimes that's all we really want to do is just talk it through first, and we'll come up with our own answers after we talk it through. But I want to be able to say after I fall out, after I crash out, after I have that moment with you, that I can get up and walk away and not be like, it's going to be on social media. It's going to be. So that's part of the trust we have to build as brothers, as men in this, to be able to support each other through all this. Did we do yours, Tay?
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
I agree with y'all 100%. It's just one thing that probably stops me from breaking down and letting it all go, because like I really want to say that I respect you, man, so much, because no doubt, like I said, like I understand the fact I ain't been through nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't been through nothing yet. I don't got no reason to complain.
And so it's not all about complaining either. Like because I do want to say this though. Some of it's about I just need to celebrate with a brother too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you had your child.
Mm-hmm.
the brother should have been like, we got you. Look, man, you just brought life. That's a celebration for you, right? Mm-hmm. And so some of the things that sometimes people make it feel like it's a shame. Like, that was wrong. You shouldn't have had. Well, the baby's here now. How do we celebrate you?
That's the last.
But you get what I'm saying?
That's the last. Judgment is the last thing I would deal with, because a lot of people judge and they ain't got no degree for that. So
right. A degree in judgment. Like, I think I'm going to go to school for that. So when people say, why you judge me? Because I got a degree in it.
I just want to add, I don't want you to minimize what you've been through up to this point. You have been through some things. It may not have been what we've been through, but you have been through some stuff that you are able to share with people and to expound upon and talk about. So don't minimize what you experienced, because it is important to you. And your story is not for you. It's always for somebody else that you don't even realize is going to impact.
All right, Tay, I know you've been waiting to get this question out.
A little bit.
And then we're going to wrap up after you.
I'm Tay Parks. My question is, the boy inside the man is often the one screaming for help. If you could sit down with the 10-year-old version of yourself, what would you tell him about the man he's become?
I don't even think the younger me would understand. I would be 5.
Nah, that's real though. That's real.
I wouldn't even have no care in the real. I'd just be.
Yeah, but what would you tell you would tell him, because you still don't know what's happening at 5.
I don't even think he would understand what I'm saying, though.
I feel like I would tell him, just don't make the mistakes. Well, you gonna make when you become me. I would tell him, don't make the mistakes that would put you in danger, basically, in everything, mentally, physically. You know, I will let him know what's gonna happen, and I will let him know how to avoid it and how to stop it.
Okay.
I think, like, for back to his situation.
Well, you wouldn't be 5.
Nah.
I know,
I'm not
exactly. This is the young one in here, so don't try that.
Yeah, I was saying for his situation, I could see where he coming from, because it's like, you know, he at that age where it's like, he really, like, trying to grow into himself.
Yep.
Because, like, people don't know, like, it's pressure at every age that you step into.
Yeah.
It is.
So, like, for me, what I would tell my 10-year-old self is, like, don't let anything, like, that people say to you about you get under you.
Yeah.
Or don't let it, like, you know, hurt you. Because it's like, it's always something in life that's bigger than where you at. So understand and know, like, it's more to it than, like, where you standing at.
Okay. Any of the older guys that won't be like 5 and 7?
I would say be more in the moment and don't overthink.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would tell my 10-year-old self.
I agree with him. If I would have told my 10-year-old self something, I would have told myself to never get robbed of my creativity.
That was powerful.
Yeah. I would have told myself to never get robbed of my creativity, because we all creators. And at that time, I feel like that's when I was understand the reality, like, that I got one life to live.
Mm-hmm.
And everything was becoming real to me. It wasn't just me just living and going with the flow and being a kid. Like, so I would have told myself that.
That was good, Latrell. Robinson, you want to close this out with your 10-year-old self? I think so too, because I'm thinking, shoot, my creativity?
Yeah, and also tell your 10-year-old self, have fun.
Yes.
Enjoy your funness.
Yes.
Okay.
You in that stage where you just getting to know life, you just getting to know a lot of stuff. So I feel like just take any opportunities that come by your way, just take it and just have fun. You know, be
Explore
careful.
yourself.
Yeah, explore yourself. Find new skills.
Don't let anybody rob your creativity. Explore yourself, which is amazing, which is a mouthful. And your 5-year-old self was just like, you still had a pacifier in your mouth or something.
Yeah, he still like 10. So like,
Yeah. So thank you guys so much. I know this was a longer episode than normal, but I think it was really powerful. I appreciate you guys. There's still a bunch of questions left, so I think we're going to have to do another podcast and knock these questions out as well. Continue to watch us. Once again, we've been reading The Invisible Ache, and I'm so happy to have these guys with me as our guests. So thank you. Please like and subscribe as we keep moving on with more for the podcast.
peace.
Do the shit, gotta let it when we do it.